You had a washer, a Maytag, but it was a used one, not a new one. You want to buy used, you had money for a new one. Or somebody in the family was buying a new one and they got a hand-me-down. You know? And they were the old wash machines with the wringer on it. Oh my God. I used to go down and sell them. I watched my mother put this clothes through the wringer. Before the wash machine come in, women had a wash and they used the scrub board with Octagon soap or Kirkman soap. You guys don't know how lucky you are. Everybody had their own grape harbors. We always had grape jelly, grape jam. Always. We had apple, pears. Everybody grew fruit trees. Today, who in the world grows a fruit tree today? Mr. Sulik had a cow in that little building over there. He had his blacksmith shop and the cow in there. We used to get our milk off of. Awesome. Everybody had fruit trees. It's food. Food. They weren't worried about the pears. It was food. In front of my house, we had a pear tree. When I lived on Washington Road, all right? And it was the real hard winter pear. I can't think of the name of them now. We used to pick them. They were hard. Take them down the cellar, lay them on screen. And they ripened. We had fresh pears until Christmas. Apples you couldn't do it to, because apples, you know, they ripen fast. But down the cellar where it was cool, yeah, and they got so soft you didn't have to have teeth. Without teeth you could bite in them. We got gum them, you know. They used to say, "You gum it." It's gum it. My dad could speak 3 languages. My dad could speak English, German, and Polish. Mr. Sulak here, he was born on the Austrian-German border. He spoke 3 languages. Many times they used to stand over there, and my dad would be talking to Mr. Sulak in Polish. The next time they were talking in German. You know, and I was confused, you know. So one day I asked my dad, and he told me, Mr. Sulak can speak 3 languages like I can. Tangletown was mostly Polish people, except a couple, like Chili Sylvester. I'm trying to think who else. I'm not loud. Smith Street was mostly Polish. Little Broadway was almost all Polish, because my cousin, Joe Zagalinsky, was from Little Broadway, and most of that was all Polish. Embroidery Street was 50-50. John Street, Joseph Street were mostly all Polish. The Polish section seemed to be right in there, you know? Down Lower Sayreville, you had the Polish section in Baymhurst Avenue and those side streets, you know? Because the older families, before they came in, were the German and Irish or whatever, they were even Scottish or whatever, you know? Like the McCutcheons, they were Scottish, I think. I mean, see, we used to go out and steal apples right over on the other side of the building here. The Dolans lived. Now, no relation to the other Dolans, another Dolan. And, of course, Chet Sweeter's got his barber shop built in there, but they had a nice big farm in there, and it was always wet, the land. It was like walking on a sponge. And they used to plant watermelons in there. Oh, nice-sized watermelons, you know. When they were ripe, that's where we were, in the watermelon field. And I'll never forget. Heck, you were lucky to get a nickel for an ice cream cone. My grandfather was good to all of us, though. My mother's father, of course, my dad's parents were dead. And you go down, if you went to church, and you went down to see him, you got a dime on a Sunday. Now, that dime was an ice cream cone and a bar of candy. Sometimes, if the ice cream was cheap, you get double dip for a nickel. You know? And brother, but you had to go to church. Because they only got a GL loan for $10,000. Charlie Robinson at the bank told me when I for my loan. He says, Harold, you're never going to build that home for what you're asking for. I'm going to leave this open. So that you will need more money. You tell us how much. When I got done, I didn't ask for no more money. But I'll tell you something, I had the gas station, and I had some very good friends come in. They all came in with their hammers. They put the subflooring down. I had Johnny Zollinger, Jake Zollinger, the builder, his father, not him, but his father. His father was a supervisor of carpenters and millwrights in Squibbs, New Brunswick. He built this house. He's the man that actually built this house. And I'll tell you something, we didn't skimp nowhere. Everything is double reinforced. You take above the doors, you know how they go today, just put a board in the middle? Nah, that's X'd. X'd. Johnny said, Harold, we can build it, save money. He said, we can build it the way, I said, I'd build it the way you'd build it. It was going to be your home, and he did. I got double oak floors up and down. I got a full floor in the attic. Not double, just a full. And I was very fortunate. Mr. Welch married an alligator from Sayreville, who were very good friends with my dad. When I went down to see Mr. Welch from my house lumber, he said to me, Harold, he says, I'm going to tell you. He said, it's right in front of Johnny Zollinger. He says, you're going to get everything here, contractor's price. He said, furthermore, if you find any lumber that you can't use, you think it's not, because after the war, the lumber was not, you had to watch it over. A lot of knots and whatever, in other words, pushing the junk, Any piece of lumber you see that you don't want, you just set aside and reorder and tell my truck driver to bring it back. Yep. So, I mean, we get the best of lumber because of Mr. Welch. Joseph Ganatzik, John Gira, trying to think now. My brother Benny, of course, ran the gas station when I was back here working. They came with their hammers. What do you want me to do, Harold? Ask John Jungle what to do. I built this house for under $10,000, just around $10,000. Oh no, I'll tell you. So when I built this house, there was no big developments going on. The only big development we had was on the Sandfield Road. Those all the little houses. That was the one going on when I built this house. A lot of them were local people. Yeah, a lot of GIs built down there. I think Art Music built that. His father used to have a barber shop right here in the corner. You know where Dr. Carr's got his office? The next building. You walk those steps, the first door going in, that was the barber shop. That's where I used to go for my haircuts. If I didn't go down to Lower Sayreville, Uncle George and Norma. But when he died, I went over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Christ. What a life.